I hate to break the fishing news after Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep.
All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today. What's up with this team? Baggedmilk, check. Liam, check. Wanye, check. Everybody else is either MIA or in Nashville, check.
Well, you should have seen the lineup we had for the Monday show. It was me, Liam, Waz, and Gavin.
Just the way you imagined it.
Yep.
It was whoever was in the office that day.
It was your standard real life lineup if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, it was a different show. I feel like from other real lives that I've been on. There was a lot more hockey talk.
Is that right?
Before.
Yeah.
Spoke about Jim Nill, who then went on to win GM of the Year somehow. We're still not sure what he did.
Well,
he exists.
Yeah, he did something apparently, enough for everyone to vote him to be GM of the Year.
Not a soul listens to this thing, so it's fine. You can take chances when you've got more hosts than listeners. That's what I say. That's how I started doing it. The first year we recorded this thing, I wasn't even plugged in. I had no idea. I'd come in and say, "Did you like the podcast?" Everyone would say, "Oh, it's great. It's great. You're very funny." Wasn't even plugged in, Liam.
It is interesting when you think back to those early episodes, even before the Russian interrogation room of real life, where the equipment we have now for this podcast is so wildly different than what we had. Remember, we just had that like one little plug-in recorder that had a splitter in it.
I was doing season 1 from Mexico.
Yeah, you were.
Really?
Yeah, I was living down there.
It was all going through GarageBand.
With Struddy and Gregor as my co-hosts. This thing has been changed like Menudo. There have been different members.
Many members.
Well,
but always Ricky Martin.
I think it's funny when people forget there's a show and then I go to upload the show and it's like episode 491. It's like the schedule is there every week, people.
Come on, folks.
It's a classic.
It's just like on Monday when I was just like, "Hey, Wanye and Chalmers, you coming in for real life?" And Chalmers goes, "We're doing a podcast today?"
Dude, I was in a situation.
Yeah, you did.
I got food poisoning.
Yes.
And I saw the bright lights of heaven at one point and considered swimming to the other side and said, "No, I need to know if Reed Schaefer turns out in Nashville and possibly Wanye Jr. needs a father." And I swam back towards the land of the living, but I was more concerned about Reed Schaefer. Yeah. So I was up street having a meeting and I legitimately had to run around the corner and spew during my meeting.
Oh God.
Can you imagine? Thank God it was my cafe and I could puke where I want. That's what I told the guy too. It's hard to maintain the upper hand. It's hard to maintain the upper hand in the conversation when you're letting fly and then you return back to the table.
Well, again.
So then I'm like, I got to end this. I'm not in the zone. And then like 2 seconds later, I realized you guys were doing a pod. But at that point, I'd already called Air Ambulance 1 to come take me to the hospital.
Yeah, Stars was already taking you away.
That's the one.
Mm.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Traffic 1.
I can't imagine what kind of guest host I'd have been.
Yeah, Air Force One had one.
Air Force One took me away.
Yeah.
It was fine. I'm all right.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a crazy episode though. If it was this,
you just been ran out puking.
I would have been puking. I guarantee you.
Oh boy.
I guarantee you. The genre of food I ate is so delicious that even at the height of my, the night of the spirit journey I went on, I was like, it is not your fault genre of food. It is really not your fault. Delicious restaurant I ate at or genre of food. But I know in my heart of hearts and deep down in my stomach, I'm probably not going to eat it for a while.
I was going to say, will you go back?
Yes.
One day.
Yes.
In years to come.
I was going to ask, what is the timeline that you foresee? Because this is a restaurant you adore.
I'm still ill. Yeah. And I'm never sick. And I'm now 4 days later, still feeling aftershocks of this terrible situation I got myself thrown into. But I'll be back this summer.
Couple
point.
You know what? You got to get back on the horse.
Hey, yeah, you got to knock down, get up again. Chumbawamba said that.
Chumbawamba said that. They won 4 Grammys and a Nobel Prize.
Yeah.
Google that.
When was the last time you had food poisoning?
Not when I had those anchovies in the salad in Vegas. That was just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't normally see the fish in the
anchovies in a salad.
Yeah.
Caesar
salad.
Yeah, it'll happen.
It did.
I've never seen the fish in it though. I know it's part of the sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never knew that.
I've never seen the actual fish in the salad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really think of a time that I've been like violently ill from food. Actually, Wendy's Wendy's gets me every time.
Really?
Every
Every
time?
time?
I like.
What do you mean every time?
That was an exaggeration.
One, no, it doesn't. And two, I keep going back. Three, it's delicious. I get it.
I had one bad experience at Wendy's, and now I just spread out my appearances there.
That's like my dad. My dad fucking loves scallops, but if he eats scallops, he will get sick. But you know what he does? Does not quit eating scallops.
I have
Respect.
a very slight dairy allergy that I just get really stuffy in my nose, but I love everything there. I will not take it out of my diet.
Yeah,
It
I was gonna
has
say you
to
have
be
Cheesecake Wednesdays.
Cheesecake Wednesdays. I get pizza. Love ranch sauce.
Good on
have
ya.
milk on my cereal
Delicious.
every morning.
Good.
Of course.
French vanilla in my coffee. No one's stopping me.
A little lactate?
Pardon?
Do you have a little lactate ever?
A little what tate?
Those lactose intolerant pills that you can
Oh, I used to have these big allergy pills.
take. Suppositories, I imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
you got to go suppository.
Yeah.
One time we were in a Vietnamese nightclub. You don't remember Josh Brown because you weren't here when Josh was
No, he
working
wasn't
here.
here.
But Josh was a buddy of ours who worked for the Nation, and he came over. He was an AFL player from Australia,
Oh,
and his twin brother lived here as well prior to Sam.
Identical twin, by the way.
Sam
so
Brown.
when Sam moved away and Josh moved in, and Josh told everybody, no, I'm the twin brother of the other Australian guy that hangs out with Wanye and Jay. We were like, there's no way there's two of you, but there was. But they're
Very
like
handsome fellow.
the Sedines of Brisbane, literally sex machines. Anyways, we're in a Vietnamese nightclub, and we're traveling, and they have a menu, and they have a drink called the Big Pig, and the ingredients was everything. And so I ordered the Big Pig, and they brought me this plastic like piggy bank filled with booze and apparently death drugs of some variety, because I drank like half of it. And then the next thing I knew, I was in the toilet barfing everywhere.
Yeah, as you
and
do.
Sam and Josh were having a dance off, which is an epic thing to witness because they're both tremendous dancers. And the place got raided by Vietnamese police.
Oh, wow.
So they're dancing and all these police start streaming in while they're having a dance off. And they're like, what the hell? And they're like, we got to go get Wanye out of the bathroom. He's dying. He drank an everything pig or Big Pig or whatever it was. And then they got me home.
Great hair on Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I think I found him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Is this him?
No.
No. Oh,
My God. No.
He did have great hair, though.
That's not him. That guy's not even a 3. Josh is a hard 10.
Oh, easy.
I just typed in Josh Brown AFL.
Type in Josh Brown Morningside Panthers.
Morningside Panthers.
Or I can link you to his OnlyFans.
I'll just look at Morningside Panthers if I could type.
I have a Morningside Panthers calendar at home I can bring.
So that AFL?
AFLQ,
What's the Q stand for? Oh, there they are.
the AHL.
Oh, so it was like the AHL of the.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Oh, I see. This is them.
Yeah.
And they did have good hair.
Yeah, there they are. Look, God damn, Double Trouble, Brown Brothers Part 2, AFL Queensland. Like, try going on a bus trip with those guys and try to get any chicks. Good luck. Good luck, Wanye. Hopefully you're funny as we think you are. You're basically going to play bloody pickup ball with LeBron and Jordan. I've never seen such promiscuity.
Yeah. Very handsome fellows.
Very handsome. And when they were here, they were both in relationships. Otherwise, Edmonton would have about 70 new Australian,
That's right.
Canadian hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
Good guys.
It just, I always think about that one story from the back of the pint, you know,
Which one?
of Sam.
Oh, with the weeing?
Yeah.
Wow. That was more our fault than his. He flew over from Australia, like had just finished training with the team, came over in his first night. There was an incident at the pint where he was discombobulated and extremely drunk and peed on the floor in the pint. Yeah,
Dehydrating.
But you got to understand Australians, especially
They just do that.
the athletes, though, they get away with murder. And he just came up from the playoffs and he'd been flying all night and he's a star.
Yep.
Sometimes stars pee in the nightclubs.
Wow.
If you don't like it, get the fuck out of the AFL. You know what I mean? That's what I say.
That's what I've heard.
So anyways, Rick comes over and I say, well, Rick, I suppose this is the time we get thrown out of the pint. He's like, why would we throw you out? And then he just put coffee grounds on the pee and let us continue to party.
So did he like,
Keep that as in your pocket, by the way. Coffee grounds or when you pee on the floor at home.
yes, I'll consider that one next time it happens.
And I was like, you can't pee on the floor in here. And he looked at me with an eye that said, I don't even know who you are, let alone who I am. And I said, it's not his fault. Blessed Rick.
I love it.
That was great.
Well, moral of the story, I think. Don't get hammered after an international flight. Or if you do,
Especially one from Australia.
bring coffee grounds.
Do not order a dare drink in a Vietnamese nightclub.
That is also, I would, you know what? I would co-sign that one as well.
Because everything in it, it means everything.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a bar mat of sorts, but inside a pig.
Oh man. They're like, no way, you won't buy that, you idiot. And I was like, down the hatch, boys.
How big was it?
It's a piggy bank.
Oh, a piggy bank.
Like imagine a plastic piggy bank where they've like cut the top out with a knife.
Yeah.
And there's 900 straws in there.
It's like when you go to the Dancing Sasquatch in Banff and they have that drink called the Time Machine.
Go on.
And it's just this huge stein and it's
Time
like,
machine.
takes two hands. Like you have to wrap your hand around
Sure.
to carry it. And it's $18 and you just need one. And you are
The
you're good for
value.
the night.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it is a cucker.
We invented a drink called the Blue Moth. If you're both good one day and we either win a world war or a Stanley Cup, I'll make one for you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder which one will come first.
Well, you never know. It's chartreuse
Okay.
and blue Caraco in a brandy snifter, and you swish it around,
Ah.
and then you light it on fire.
Ugh.
And then you have a rocks glass on the other side with ice and I believe a little amaretto for taste. Anyways, you pour this drink of fire into the rocks glass from the schnapps glass, right? And then you put the top down and it snuffs out the fire and all the alcohol is fumes. So you crack the cup, inhale the fumes, drink the drink, and 20 minutes later, you will be dead. I guarantee it or your money back. That's a Blue Moth.
It's a Blue Moth.
I've had
model.
4 in my life. I've maybe made 10.
5 lives left.
No, man. I've never in my life only saw one guy who could function afterwards. I saw one guy drink one, 10 minutes later, fall face first at this party, completely unconscious.
I was pretty sure chartreuse is just Windex.
Blue Moth.
Pretty sure.
It's heavy duty, man. I may have just inadvertently given you the nuclear secrets. If anyone has a sack to drink a Blue Moth, let us know.
It doesn't even sound enjoyable to me.
It's not, man. It's not a good drink, but it was like, how could you make a drink? I remember this bartender one time was at our bar and he's like, I'm a flair bartender and I know everything. I'm like, how could I make the strongest drink possible? This is what I want to know how to do. And he said it would have to be fumes. Because if you light it on fire and you trap the alcohol fumes that come off of it, you have a hoot of that and you're on your way. You're on your way.
That's science, baby.
And I said, shit, I can make that. And I did.
Now the Blue Moth.
Yeah.
Banned in multiple countries, I would assume.
Well, I've had most of mine in Edmonton, but I had one in France. There's a photo.
Oh.
It is not going well. We ordered Blue Moths at the bar and the bartender was like, can you just come behind the bar and make these? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I was like, step aside, my G. The Brown brothers were on that trip too. They were. That's where we met. We met them on a bus tour of Europe.
Over a Blue Moth.
We ended with a Blue Moth at the last day of the tour.
And we never saw them again.
No, we saw them every year until bloody the 19. We made a life pack. We were going to hang out every year. But then
So they
were
just come over from Australia every year?
or we go there. They live here. They got their permanent residencies.
Oh.
Lived here, worked here. Good times were had. You were too young. You didn't even have 2 hairs on your mustache in those days. Baggedmilk saw the whole thing.
Mhm. I did.
Josh worked for the
Everyone
company.
Yeah, he was in sales.
Right. Yeah.
And people be like, man, you're good looking. They'd be like, buy some shit off him, won't you? Otherwise, we'll have to kill him.
With
And
the
he would,
Blue Moth.
The accent, you know, handsome
yeah.
face,
Big
accent,
muscles, too.
Buy and everything. Come on.
He'd wink at
He
everyone.
also modeled all our nation gear for
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are good. I still have some of those photos under my bed.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I put them up on the wall. It's real nice.
That's a little gift for me
Mm-hmm.
from Nation Gear.
Sometimes you got to take a dip in Lake Wanye.
Yeah. And now we can't. Well, we couldn't. We could go see him now. Now they got Sam has 3 kids under 3. 2 are twins.
Josh has 2 kids now, does he not? Yeah.
But Sam has twin boys like Josh and Sam. When twins give birth to twins, they have the power of 4 children. Right?
I've heard
So
that. Yeah,
these guys are not only going to be
that's
in the
That's just good
AFL because these guys are freak athletes, but they also have the power of 4 men between the 2.
Mm-hmm.
If one of those twins has a kid, it'll have the power of 8 people surging through its veins.
They're building an army down
Liam,
there.
this is science. You can Google this. I just don't know what the
Googled it.
link is. I just don't know what exactly to Google to pull up.
Google, just tell me.
Twins
Twin
equal
power.
superior ? Google that. You got good news from Google today, Baggedmilk. You sent me a link.
Lovely news.
I love when we're trading Google corporate blog links. You know something bad's happening.
Yeah, it's not great.
Liam, are you familiar with the law?
Which one?
The laws of Canada?
Yeah, to an extent.
What's it, C18?
Bill C18, Liam.
Oh, I'm somewhat familiar with this, not fully. Go ahead.
So essentially, I'm going to fuck this up. The Canadian government has decided that they want social media companies such as Meta or Facebook or Google to pay content creators for the privilege of sharing our links on their services. But now we get to do that for free.
But we get money
And we
when
get
we
money when
share
they
with
send us
Facebook.
traffic.
People click on our shit.
Yes. The relationship, as far as I see it, pretty good. I mean, Facebook pays us money every month. They send us traffic. Mark Zuckerberg wants to fight Elon. There's a lot to like.
Everybody's getting what they want.
Today, Google, on their corporate blog, as Wanye said, issued a statement saying they will suppress all Canadian traffic from their newsfeed in response to this new bill.
C18.
This doesn't seem good for us.
Not ideal.
It's not 54% of our traffic.
52.
That's how you make 52 not seem so bad. You say 54. It could be big.
Not great.
Plus GA4's new analytics. There might be 4 people reading the website in the next 10 years based on our new analytics.
Yes. The interesting thing is, Australia had a very similar law go into effect in 2021 that was instantly killed, more or less, because publishers in Australia were like, wait. Like, can we have our traffic back?
Yeah.
There's also way less media in Australia that isn't owned by Rupert Murdoch or Sam and Josh. So there's less people to bicker with. Here, there's too many different companies, I think.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens anyway.
That's crazy. So they're just stopping voices, essentially. Right? Kind of.
Yeah, but the nation will live on because like we got all our social media taken away from us. Didn't even dent our shit.
Yeah. This one feels different though.
Yeah, it's probably not good, Lynn.
I mean, it's not 53%. So
Yeah. It's a coin flip, really.
just a couple more retweets on Twitter. Should be good.
What business truly needs 54% of its customers? A bloated, inefficient one, I would argue.
We're going to be sending Waz out into the streets with just thumb drives filled with all of our links, and he's going to be distributing them everywhere he goes.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 500 cell phones and I'm going to lay them all out on the floor. And then I'm going to get cats to just walk back and forth and they're all set to Oilers Nation. So the cats are just walking all day long on all the cell phones, clicking on links. And because they're not robots, it's like an animated something that's alive clicking.
Yeah.
They can't do this. They can't get around it. It's not a bot. It's a cat. Cat bot.
Yeah.
I need about 500 Samsung phones, Baggedmilk.
Yeah. And I'm going to teach rats with their nose. They're just going to be pressed up against the phone, right?
Yeah.
And with their nose, they're just going to keep flipping up to get cheese. So the infinite scroll on OilersNation.com just never ends.
I'm going to go to elementary schools in Edmonton and say to the kids, do you really want to learn a skill? It's called clickbaiting. I need everybody in here to take a Samsung phone and click on 400 Oilers Nation articles today before you leave for lunch. And if you don't...
So that means the only ones that are going to be on Facebook are the ones Facebook pay.
Well,
Right?
like we're still allowed to post our links on Facebook.
We can publish to our group.
We can publish to our Facebook page.
But they won't go to their news feed?
It won't get dropped into the news
The
feed.
big zaddies not only get to publish to their own groups, but Facebook declares them to be news and then puts them in a special news feed. And when we got into this club,
it was great.
We were celebrating Zuckerberg's genius.
Of course.
Now we want to kill him.
So essentially, if you don't like the Facebook page, go like the Facebook page.
Yeah, go.
How many people on the Facebook page?
110K.
Come on now, Liam.
150 by the end of this
That's
podcast.
fucking 17 arenas worth of people. However, if there's one thing we know in this life, it's that Zuckerberg giveth.
Zuckerberg, take it away.
He was giving us that bonus money. How long ago were we getting that bonus money from Facebook?
Yeah, the bonus money is no longer coming in.
And now we're not allowed to have any content published on them.
Well, it's interesting. Like if you just go through our Facebook page, well, interesting is not the word I would use necessarily, but like if you scroll through the Facebook page, you'd be like, meme we made, shares like crazy. Interesting breaking news about Kailer Yamamoto getting traded. Not a fucking click.
Oh, no.
This reminds me of the giant cat website Baggedmilk and I used to own called meowpost.com.
It's still live. Use that as a news outlet?
Buddy, if I tell you Zuckerberg clapped that bitch in sanctions 10 times worse than anything you've ever heard of in your life.
Because that one literally was Facebook dependent for all traffic.
It had like one meowpost.com. It's still live. Baggedmilk did the deal of the century and sold it back to the guy we bought it off of for 10% the price or whatever it was. That's okay. Yeah, we got clapped with sanctions for sharing fake news because we shared a video of a cat climbing onto an iPad to cuddle with a photo of its dead owner. And it was set to beautiful music.
It was wonderful.
Beautiful piano sonata. And we said, shit, this is
Tugged at the
Meow
heartstrings.
Post. This is in our motherfucking wheelhouse. And we
Blew up.
publish it. And you ran into the office at Little Brick. You said, Wanye, it is hit. We are getting some numbers.
It was like at something outrageous, like 200,000 shares or something like that.
And we're minting coin.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later, he
Literally
came in.
within a week.
It was gone.
They had changed an algorithm. They did an algorithm change to combat fake news because this was shortly after the 2016 election.
What happened? I'm just kidding.
Google it.
Yeah, you can Google
I
it.
will Google it.
Whether the news comes up or not is a different story. Yeah, they essentially changed their algorithm to combat fake news, and the Facebook page went from generating all this traffic to generating zero traffic.
And this video of the cat with the dead owner was fake.
It was a fake video, so that page got slapped with the fake news sanction by Facebook and was essentially ghost shadow banned.
And I was banned from Facebook as an admin. And now my aunt out east in Ontario never knows what I'm up to. Sorry.
I had my Facebook page
Disaster.
memorialized once.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me, and you had to like prove.
I had to send them pictures of myself with like my ID and shit and make sure that the date was on it.
Were they full frontal?
Oh, of course.
Well, if you're going to ask for that, you want me to send you a picture?
Of course. What? That's what photos I
Shit.
take of myself.
You're weighing with your ID next to it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fun on the internet, Leo.
That's how she
Yeah.
goes. If there's one thing you might not get mad about, it's when there's sweeping political change. Bill C-18 comes in, you lose half your readers. What are you going to do?
Pivot to video.
Well, we already did.
Well, that's why we're all starting OnlyFans accounts.
Yeah.
To bolster the company's income.
Got to think of our own niches though.
We're going to serve the market every quarter. It's an unending drumbeat. More, 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 more. That's life being publicly traded.
That's right.
More. You don't think they're going to get mad? No, because they're going to have this happen across the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
We're all in this together, Playmaker.
Wow, we are the Canadian branch of their company, though.
That is. Oh, yeah. Shit. All the other countries aren't going to have this, are they?
Nope.
Oh, well, Playmaker, I would like to redact my earlier laughter.
Wait, so does our stuff still go through in the US, for example?
Yeah, like we would still show up in Google News USA.
Yeah, Liam, I'm sure Yamamoto trade's going to trend in Chicago, you fuck. Just kidding, Liam.
Maybe Detroit.
Yeah, but yeah, to answer the question, yeah.
That's kind of wild. That
We'll
doesn't make
never
any sense,
peak in
but
the States.
Surprising.
The only people that care is Northern Alberta.
Yeah, so it's not great.
And Utah. Apparently we got Rusty in Utah and the Utah boys.
Goat.
Yeah, Rusty the Reckless Optimist.
He's in Utah. The Utah boys. So we got
Windsor Nation
three guys
actually has a
down there.
lot of traffic from Scandinavia.
Really?
Have you ever heard of the dead internet theory?
No, but I've heard that Finland might not be real. So
Finland isn't real.
that's a conspiracy.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Explain Yari Curry. Explain
Doesn't
Pulley
exist.
Harvey.
Speaking of Pugliarvi, double hip surgery again for the young
Again?
lad. That's the second time.
Oh, that ain't it.
That's tough.
His mobility is going to be like,
Double hip surgery. What do you got?
Again.
Them wonkies? You got them wonkies? Shit.
it's like he's walking with some kind of strut, you know? He's got to fucking bring it down.
Whatever syndrome he's got makes wonky hips and a long tongue.
He's doing that like the Russian kick dance. What is that called?
Oh, yeah.
obsessed with it.
The Dougie.
He is not getting a contract from the Carolina Hurricanes. He will become a free agent. That is.
Do you think he stays in the NHL?
No, that was fucking 4 new hips.
Yeah.
Shit.
True.
It's a fair question.
No.
I
Do you
bet
think
he-
like a team like Chicago would give him a chance?
No.
I bet he gets a two-way deal.
No, he won't. He'll go to Europe where he plays 20 games a year and he never has
That's
to
true.
fuck with his hip. And
Yeah, that's true.
if you're Pulley Harvey and you've got the bona fide first round NHL draft, you can go make a comfortable living.
What is he now? 24, 25?
I got the technology to find
I think
that
he's
out.
25. I think he's a couple of years younger than me.
He is 25 years old. Yep.
Yeah. Too bad. When was his first surgery?
After he left here.
Yeah. It was when he
No,
went
it
back.
was when he went home to Finland.
Yeah,
he
when he
came
went to
back.
Finland.
Yeah. He went home to
And he
Finland.
was
got
pretty
double.
good for a few years. Like his numbers went up in Finland. He came back at that good year with us, got hurt,
Yeah.
or got COVID or whatever it was, and then was never the same.
Oh, there you see. Yes, Pugliarvi reportedly underwent double hip surgery. Weathers Nation, Google News. Thank you, Google.
Thank you, Google, for now.
For now,
Did you
please.
click on it?
Yeah, I'm going to click on it twice.
Click on it 400 times.
There we go. Yep.
Have you seen the cat room? click, click, click. Have you ever looked up like click farm, like in other countries where you'll go into a room. There's like 900 phones. There's people just going like this.
It's one of the weirdest things.
I want to do that.
But like, I think that's what
like
Google.
You want to own one or be a part of it?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to work there.
No, I want to own one. I want to be like, what's the cheapest country in the world to do business? How many fingers do people have in that country? Times 3 phones per finger.
Fingers.
I need 4,000 people to come meet me in an old aircraft hangar in Bangladesh. And we're going to start clicking. We're getting rich.
What is Oilers Nation? That's the question they'll be asking in Bangladesh. Our traffic will go through the roof.
What does 5,000 people clicking at once sound like? It probably is a sound.
On an iPhone?
Sure.
Just silent.
You gonna make a sound?
Just like a little...
well, the sound of fingers hitting glass at scale.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
I bet you it's calming.
A little bit.
You go into a room where 4,000 people are head down, just clicking for 23 hours a day.
It's like rain on a tin roof. Relaxing.
It is relaxing.
How about that trade today?
I was shocked when I walked in here and saw it down in the corner because it said Oilers trade Yamamoto and Kostin, but didn't say for what.
They didn't have to.
Essentially, that was it.
And I say, hey, fellas.
Yeah, they didn't have to.
What do we get for 2 of our, what I would consider to be reasonably good players? The answer?
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I heard? Like, well, it was Liam that was telling me about this. That future considerations essentially means that the opposing team is going to take you out for dinner when you get there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a favor. Like sometimes there will be just money exchange from team to team. But I
have to disclose it though?
I think it will say there'll be like an amount, and then that amount will just go to like a team dinner for the staff. When you're like, I mean, when Ken Holland goes to Detroit, for example, you got a future considerations deal.
Now Stevie Yzerman has to buy him his favorite meal.
Yeah, he's probably already going to anyway.
Wouldn't he have to buy it for Yzerman?
In theory, yeah, because he
probably, yeah. In one way or another, that's coming.
So the most important thing about the Kailer Yamamoto trade, though, of course, is that I broke it.
What?
Yes
you did? How?
That I a little birdie told me about it this morning.
You beat the team, everybody down in Nashville, the whole thing.
I beat everyone. Wow. No love for Baggedmilk though, Liam.
What do you mean?
Well,
I think you're the new bloody.
I'm Frank Saravalli now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a Pulitzer, son.
Mm-hmm. That'll be my second one.
What was the first one?
Oh, you know.
You're the new Bob Oak.
Oh, you know.
It's just a little thing I do.
There was a report after the trade that Klim Kostin was pretty close to signing in the KHL before this trade was made.
I know for a fact that a friend of ours was sitting with Klim Kostin. He had to get up from the table and walk away and listen to an offer to play in the KHL for, I believe it was $3 million after tax US one season.
It sucks. I loved Klim.
But now he's back in Russia.
He's a hero. He was the national team captain.
Yeah, he was. So I know that stuff has been talked about, like he wants to stay and everything, but like when you go home, it's difficult to leave.
Especially for $3 million after tax.
Yeah. And no one's ever offered me that when I go back to England.
Look at Nail Yakupov.
You should ask when you get there, though.
Yeah, I should.
Look how happy Nail Yakupov looks. I insist on reposting all of his stories on Oilers Nation, though he hasn't been an Oiler for years.
I saw the one you posted yesterday.
With his gal.
With his girl, and they were playing soccer, I think.
Yeah, he was on the field. He was like in a celebrity soccer game. He can't live that life here.
No.
There's no pressure on him over there.
He just goes and he's just the guy who came from the NHL and they can mock him.
He's a bona fide. The minute you have an NHL
Isn't he a champion?
Yeah,
he won a KHL, but he was hurt. But yeah.
He only played 16 years this year.
16 years this year?
Yep. 16 games this year, 14 in the playoffs.
It's not bad.
Nail doesn't need to play more than 25 games a year over there. Truly.
And he hasn't.
He hasn't, and he doesn't. And he gets money, and he's in Dubai, and he drives a G-Wagon, and life is good.
There is a scenario where Klim Kostin comes back.
No.
If they don't qualify him.
There's a scenario where Kailer Yamamoto comes back. Mark Spector was speculating that Detroit may buy him out tomorrow.
But Tyler said that won't happen.
Yeah, but Tyler also said that Kailer Yamamoto trade that I broke today wasn't going to happen.
Tyler is going around
So
Nashville right now as Frank Saravalli's pocket square in his suit. And he's just right there in the front. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing?
So
Quiet.
I text Tyler what I heard this morning. This is what I'm going to read it. I'm going to sell Tyler out because he just did not believe me today.
Didn't you also hit up the big man and he said no as well? And then you were right on both fronts?
Well, no, because I know Frank was busy. So I text Tyler because I knew Tyler was with Frank. So I say, I just heard Yamamoto and Kostin are going to Detroit. Can you confirm with Frank? I'm going to tweet it. And he goes, okay. Ken isn't on the phone. I'm looking at him. I guess Frank's on it. Literally 1 minute later. Oh, there we go. You were right.
Aha! Had you tweeted it in the meantime?
I tweeted it.
Good
I'm not
man.
fucking waiting, man.
Fuck that.
What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm wrong.
What's the worst going to happen? You say Sam Gagne's going to be the captain of the team and you're completely wrong. And 15 years later, the internet won't shut the fuck up about it. And probably 10 times a year, some cheeky fuck tweets you saying you're an idiot. Who cares, Liam? That's the price of journalism.
Yep,
I was certain Sam Gagne was named captain once upon a time.
The Detroit Red Wings have $27 million in cap space.
It would be hilarious if they buy out Yamamoto.
I mean, he would be, what was it, 400 and 500K? Like, it costs them nothing. They have 4 defensemen signed, their future goalie signed in Husso, and they have 11 forwards signed.
So what?
They definitely could buy.
What's the win for them?
Well, they have Yamamoto's good.
Yeah, he's solid. I don't understand.
I'm worried about his neck.
His injuries are not good, and that's why the others didn't want to spend $3 million on him anymore. But if you're Detroit, it's really low risk, high reward. It's a guy. If you suck, maybe you can flip him at the deadline, or his contract's up at the end of the season. Like, you don't really have to. He's only 24. Like, I would have liked. That's what people were saying. It's like, well, Yamamoto had 20 goals 2 seasons ago. It's like, yeah, but he was also out for half the season with a neck injury.
Yeah, man, you
Doesn't
can't
make
fuck
sense.
around them necks.
Well, man, fucking ball and cards. Mama. Anyway, Yamamoto, the thing is too, that the way he plays, I can see him getting hurt again. He's so small.
Yeah, me too.
I've seen him in the flesh once, Liam. And I went, wow, he is a small dude.
His dad is even smaller than he is. That means his grandpa, if this shit keeps up, must be a foot tall.
It's kind of like the twins thing.
Oh. They're getting
But
small.
in reverse.
Yeah.
They're doubling in size every generation, but they're still super short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
Poor Yamamoto.
Yeah. Maybe.
The heart of a lion.
Oh, I would liked him as an Oiler a lot.
I liked him too.
Respect the game.
I liked him since the day he was drafted, and he told the others, and I'm paraphrasing, if you don't draft me, you're going to live to regret it. Or
I love it. Threaten your way in.
And then the first season, he was legit. He was fucking really good.
Yeah.
He was point per game player with Dry and Nuge, and then didn't work out.
And his mom on Hockey
Got
Night
his
Canada
money.
saying it's a win for little guys whenever he scores. Oh, I love him.
He'll be on to Montreal one day.
He needs to go play with Neil Yakupov and make $3 million net, 25 games a year. Maybe you're going to get shot by your GM, but that's the K. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get your money. Maybe you get put in a gulag. Who knows? That's the fun of playing overseas.
According to Cap Friendly, Neil Yakupov's got a career earnings of $8.1 million USD.
Hold them papers.
How does that convert to Russia? What do they
Russian
have
rubles?
there? Rubles?
We heard a story about a guy playing in the KHL.
Okay.
And he was paid in cash, and he was bringing a duffel bag to the airport of money at the end. This is very commonplace in the K. If you're a foreigner, you're paid in cash all year, you bring your money home.
Okay.
And he gave the money to a buddy to take to the airport that was going in a different car. And when he got out of his car, he was robbed and they couldn't find the money,
So
which
he
means
lost
the
all his
team
money.
set him up. No.
Oh, the team set.
The team set him up to be robbed at the end of the season.
Jesus.
And he'd put the money in a different car that was like a decoy. So look, if you don't think that that's a problem, or you're willing to maybe make that kind of money, or maybe get robbed at the airport in Vladivostok.
Listen, I don't know what a ruble gets you in Russia. I have no idea. But what I do know is that $8 million equals 712 Russian ruble, 712 million Russian rubles.
But if they take it all from you at the airport, you get no ruble.
That is true.
It's true.
Unless
That
it's in
is
your
true.
prison purse.
No, wow. What kind of bills are you going to be shoving up there?
What's the smallest denomination you have?
What's the smallest bills you have with the highest denominations? Do you have surgical gloves and do you have Vaseline? Oh, you're going home from a year in the KHL? That is correct.
I really want Yamo to get bought out just so I can retweet Tyler's tweet tomorrow.
Yeah, like when Tyler's wrong, it's fun when Tyler's wrong. Because he's always so certain when he's right.
Always.
It's funny because he's so crestfallen when he's wrong. He can't see it coming.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I really want to go to a KHL game, but I really don't think now is the geopolitical structure
I don't know
that
if
makes
it's a good time.
fun travel to Russia a real possibility.
I've always wanted to go to Russia. Just like the history of Russia is cool as fuck.
Wasn't the World Juniors going to be there in the before times?
Yeah.
No, it had been there recently. Like I think actually not too long before everything kind of happened.
Yeah, I think that's what. So,
and then maybe ones after this.
And they're probably not going to play in this thing for 10 years.
Oh, no, we won't see Russia for a while. Unless eventually they just do what the Olympics do.
And just let them play as the IOC.
From Russia, that's not actually Russia.
Yeah.
But who's getting taught a lesson in this instance?
We all know who it is.
The fans?
You know what I mean? Like, no, when it's like the Russian delegate from not Russia.
Yeah, I'm like, who are these people? Where are they from? Nobody did anything wrong.
Yeah, nobody knows anything about it.
No.
An IWHF sweater. All these ads.
Well,
who is this? Russian ads only.
They have a surrender flag at the opening ceremony. That's it. That's what you get. That's all you can bring.
The only ad I care about, Liam, is for Wilhock beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious. Leduc, Spruce Grove, West Edmonton Mall. They've got an outlet where you can just swing on by, grab a bag of jerky, and make your way out into the world.
We'll let you come to the World Track and Field, but all your shoes have to be 2 sizes too small. And if you don't want to play that game, you can't come.
It's like the first year they went to the Olympics and NHL players went there, but the Russian team had like Kovalchuk on it. And there was like a couple of the guys who had played in the NHL.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're going up against the German team whose best player is Marcel Goff.
Oh, no.
It's a sneaky suspicion who's going to come out on top here.
They didn't win it though, did they?
The Russian Federation of the Olympic Committee won.
That's the one.
We don't know.
Like, who's that? That country didn't do anything wrong.
Yep.
For their national anthem, they just play that thing, all the things she said by tattoo.
They should just apply a penalty to all your scores. So they're like, okay, Russia, very bad. All your scores are divided by 2. So you're a gymnast, 10, you got a 5, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're at such a disadvantage. You start negative.
And then their track stars are winning handily because they didn't think that through. And like a 70-second race is now 35 seconds for them.
Let's try and find this roster.
Mild athletic administrative punishment is sufficient to not go to war.
Oh, yeah. They had, do you remember that Voinov guy?
Oh, yeah.
Who was with the Kings. He was on the team. Zub, who now plays for the Ottawa Senators. Pavel Datsuk. May have heard of him.
He's pretty good.
He was a captain. Igor Shesterkin was the goalie.
Sure.
The other goalie, Ilya Sorokin.
Sure. So they were allowed to play in the Olympics, but we wouldn't let our guys play?
Because they were playing in the KHL.
Right.
A couple of schlubs.
Kovalchuk, Kaprizov. Good little team, guy. Alexander Babanov.
Yep.
Couple of good NHLers. If they ever made it here, I'm not sure.
Sergei Bababka. What did Chuck call him?
What?
Sergei Bobrovsky. What did?
I can't remember. It was not.
Remember when the Red Wings iced every player Fedorov, Fedosov, Kozlov, Konstantinov, and another one? Mm-hmm. At the time, my brain was like, these are the most complicated names. Woo! And then like Puljujärvi gets drafted. I'm like, uh-oh. I remember I've got to learn how to spell Puljujärvi. Uh-oh.
Yeah, to show the comparison of the German team, Dominic Cahoon was on the team.
Oh, former Oiler.
Yeah, first liner.
He was all right.
So going up,
he got us that cup in 12.
Kaprizov, Datsuk, and Kovalchuk, Marcel Gonk, Dominic Cahoon.
Marcel Gok.
Gok, what did I call him?
GOC?
Yeah, Gok.
Yeah.
The only Marcel I care about is Marcel.
Yeah, that was big.
That was drafted today. Yeah. I don't even know where he went. Great name, though.
I don't know what team he went to, but it was a great name. Or how about when Spencer in our marketing team was like, do you think this guy will get drafted? I was like, no way. Instantly gets picked right after. So yeah, there's not a good luck for me.
You know who I feel for in this draft is that Will Smith kid. Because up to like 2 years ago, that was the best celebrity to be named after. There's no risk of scandal. It's all good in the hood. When he smacked Chris Rock, both Will Smiths were fucked.
I do like, though, that when he got drafted last night, Will Smith's walk-up song to the stage was the Fresh Prince theme.
Yeah,
they're playing into it.
You gotta embrace the moment.
Also, the kid who went second.
And he slapped Gary Bettman and accepted joining the NHL.
All I was missing.
Couldn't believe it. Just like the other Will Smith I said.
Could you imagine if they had just like kind of scripted it a little bit and he fake slapped him and Bettman went with it?
Bettman's like, this is the first time I've been in on a joke in my entire life. What's
like
the joke again?
That isn't me getting
Damn it, Gary.
Food.
I like the Swedish kid that went up second. His song was Drip Too Hard. Fucking sweet. I love it.
I like that
personality.
they're trying to make the draft into more of an event.
I do too.
The All-Star game is terrible,
I think so too.
but the draft, they're getting former players to come back. They're getting current players to come.
And
The award show there.
the players themselves who are getting drafted are embracing a little bit of style to it too. Like there's just guys who like Adam Fantilli, who went third, whatever he did. He had a vest on and it
All the
had
names?
all the names, but inside his vest was all these pictures as well from like growing up playing hockey and like his journey. And then there was Zach Benson had a pretty cool one too. And it's that's kind of what you want is the
Little
kids
pussies. You know what Leon Draisaitl had under his vest at draft day? Muscles. Gonna kick the hell out of all these little, my aunt's name's on the vest. Really? Really, your aunt? You little bitch. Welcome to the league.
I always think it's funny too when you do these drafts and they're like, can't skate. It's like, how is this guy going fourth overall?
Draft analysis. Can't play for shit. Picked third.
Sucks.
Yeah, that
Kinda
just cracks
sucks.
me up. Is like you look at it, it's like can't skate, player comparison. I don't know, fucking
Garbage.
Yeah,
Human garbage.
For
that?
our friends at Betway, provided that you are 19 plus and can do so responsibly, did you make any money on the draft?
I tried my hardest, but
How'd you do?
I didn't.
Zach did all right, just
Yeah,
strictly following Stephen Ellis from Daily Faceoff's mock draft.
yeah. I said on the show, on the live show, that I thought Will Smith was going to go third.
The player or the actor?
Well, you never know.
Well, okay, go on.
Yes, and that one didn't pan out. But yeah, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
I thought it was actually funny, speaking of next year on the draft. Aiden Celebrini went to Vancouver and he has a brother who is going to be likely first overall pick in next year's draft.
Sam and Josh.
Yes, called Macklin Celebrini. And on the broadcast, they were like, oh, could this be Vancouver trying to tee up Macklin Celebrini next season? It's like, what do they want to do? Just tank again?
Yeah.
Like, it's-
The new Sedines, 1 year apart.
I got a feeling Vancouver has no interest in getting Macklin Celebrini. He's going first.
Yeah, just like
overall.
just because the Devils are collecting all the Hughes brothers doesn't mean that everybody's going to do it.
What the hell? So they had kids 2 draft years apart? Like 1 year draft year apart?
Yeah.
So those parents were just getting busy as soon as the first one popped
I
out?
think the Savoys did that too.
Yeah,
Maybe it was a couple of years. Yeah. Carter went obviously to the Oilers and then his brother Matt went to the, what are they called? Not the Bills, the Sabres.
They did go to the Bills.
The Buffalo Bills and the NHL.
I want to tell so many jokes right now, but then the feedback that there's children listening to this. You
Well, that
need
was
to
Chalmers' feedback.
You need to not listen if you're a child. You need to say, you know what, mom and dad, I don't know what the heck we're listening to.
Frankly, you're bad parents.
I
for
don't
letting me
want to
listen
hear this crap. This guy's talking about all sorts of
Do
stuff.
you think children listen to this?
According to
That's what
Chalmers,
Chalmers said. He said we had to stop swearing because there's children listening to
he
this.
came in here the other day, 8 minutes late on brand, and just interrupted and started yelling at us about how much swearing there is.
What children? Is it his children?
I
don't know. These mysterious children that apparently listen to the Real Life podcast. First of all, your parents are bad parents.
Yeah, I didn't even realize half this shit was hooked up to anything.
No, it's not.
To be fair, it says explicit when you click on the podcast.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It should.
It does say
in his
that, yeah.
potty mouth.
Do all of our podcasts say
I think they
explicit,
all
don't
say
they?
explicit.
That's why people want to listen to podcasts. They want badly dubbed audio that's deafeningly loud, super quiet, and then just swear words thrown at them rapid fire.
I do think people like when you can just talk as adults on podcasts, you know?
Yeah. It's just a casual thing.
If you
That's
think
why
of
I always, do you ever listen to the Bill Simmons podcast?
The Ringer,
Yeah, on the Ringer. And it's just him and he just talks with his friends and he like gives good analyst. What's the word?
Analysis.
Liam, you're
Analysis.
literally on the same show right now. It's called Real Life. You are literally, you don't need to mention the Ringer.
But no,
You
but
can say this
those are
show.
the ones that I
Oh,
listen
I see.
to. I listen to the Real Life podcast every episode.
You do?
Yeah, when I'm on it.
Terrible. Yeah, there we go. I've never listened to 1 minute of this show. If I see my clip coming on, I scroll like a motherfucker past it.
Well, Woz just cuts me from clips now.
Oh, does he?
Woz asked me to do an office question, got everybody in and just cut my part.
Well,
Disgraceful.
your
That was like, I got cut out from one the other day too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it. So
Fucking Woz.
I'm protesting.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boz only has 9 toes, man.
It does. He does only have 9 toes.
You know he isn't right.
You're right.
One little piggy's gone forever.
He is not right. Physically,
should lower my expectations.
That's right.
Lose a toe, losing 1/10 your brain.
Real quick, just back to Betway for a sec. Did you know the Oilers are favored to win the Pacific already next week?
Aren't they favored to win the cup as well?
Mm-hmm.
And McDavid's favorite to win.
You know what? I still owe you $20
Yes.
from our bet this year.
You know what? You bought me a coffee today.
You know I did. I asked for one for free for both of us at Little Brick. Don't count that as a bill payment, you
That
strumpet.
was delicious.
Don't you count that as me paying my debts.
Plus 200, Liam. How you feel about that to win the Pacific?
I mean, they should. I think the Pacific's interesting now because LA clearly thinks they've got a horse in this race to win it by trading half the team, which they got the best player in that trade, but they probably got a little bit worse in the same time.
They traded away more goals than they received, is what I found interesting.
Yes. Oilers are bringing back obviously pretty much might even be the same roster minus Kostin and Yamamoto.
Not Yamamoto. Not Reed Schaefer.
Not Reed Schaefer. Vegas, I don't know. It's so hard to count out Vegas. I feel like all last season.
They're just going to get
Vegas
dissed and
is
win
shit.
every year, I feel like. And everyone's going to be
Yeah.
like, fuck. And then they'll start again.
They weren't even good. So, well.
Hey, Wanye, I just got an email from Flippa with an acceptance letter from Flippa.
Really?
Hot dog.
We're out here buying things. You think we stopped when meowpost.com blew up in our face and we lost all our money, Liam? You think that's the end? It is not the end. It is midway through the race, my friend.
What is Flippa?
This website me and Baggedmilk buy stuff on that generally blows up in our face. Not this new one, though.
This time it's different.
This one's going to work for sure. That's good news.
Yeah.
I really got to make sure all
Just
those people that I asked for money from are going to come through.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to look like a liar on Flippa.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, my Feet Finder account needs to pick it up.
Flippa's a website that buys and sells websites.
All kinds of shit. You can buy apps on there.
It's
You can
cool,
buy-
man. You could go onto Flippa and buy an app that makes $500 a year that's built, $1,500. It's a little secret between you and your phone is that app's making money and you can grow it, shrink it,
Do it.
get it deleted by Facebook.
I've almost drunkenly bought a couple of apps.
It's cool.
Yeah. One of them was you got to drive around in the one I almost bought. You got to drive around in like a backhoe and just like move dirt around. It was very fun to play.
Like a farm simulator.
A little bit. Yeah.
And you just own the app and then it just makes.
Yeah. And then you would collect ad revenue or whatever.
Or like sometimes it's pay to play or there's an upgrade in the app. Depends on the app.
Yeah. So what do you have to do if there's an upgrade?
Well, then you got to figure out some kind of development strategy. You got to figure it out.
Then you can hire people off of like Fiverr or Upwork
or
and they can
whatever.
work on your app for you and then you pay them. It's all very exciting. It's great fun, Liam.
It sounds like a nice little game.
It's great fun.
Not the game specifically, but looking in Flippa and trying to find businesses that are little diamonds in the rough. Excellent.
Or you try to go for the fucking home run. Kids.
The gosh dang home run.
You got to go for the home run pitch like we are.
Yep.
Children.
We almost bought a mortgage thing one time.
Yeah.
A mortgage thing.
It was cool.
Like a house?
No, like
No,
a
it was
mortgage
a service.
company that generated mortgage application leads.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we'd work with like realtors and stuff. We were excited about that one. That one fell through.
Look how much money this thing we bought has made in 2 years.
Really?
That's American.
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. And see how it's all gone to hell on the graph?
Yeah.
Because the partners hate each other.
So you own this.
We're just not accepted.
The offer was accepted.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Now, do we have money to close? Who the hell are you, the Flippa compliance officer? We put a very long due diligence period on this offer, subject to the cat room saying yes or no. We have to ask all the cats.
In a non-binding letter of intent.
Have to run it past Zuckerberg.
Wow. Sounds like quite the operation you guys have got going on here.
Well,
It's e-commerce.
Yeah, you do this podcast.
Well, we do it for the love of the game. We do
where
it.
else am I going to talk about the Kailer Yamamoto trade?
Pardon?
Where else am I going to talk about that trade?
Where else?
Yeah.
I guess with your new office pals. That
Could be.
We're legally not allowed to talk about the names of stuff. No, we are. Are we?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
On my new show that I'm going to do, and I am going to do it.
When?
Well, Bloody Gregor is what's going on with him?
We're waiting on Gregor.
Down
Talking
in
to Gregor.
Nashville, living it up.
Yeah, he's Gregor the intern.
Is Gregor going to join the Nation Network?
We're working on it.
I would
Trying to figure
assume.
it out.
How the fucking
children.
how the tables have turned.
I mean, he can't just keep buying glasses without a place to do a show.
Exactly.
He brought 3 pairs down as far as I see.
Hundreds of thousands of listeners just going, where do I hear him? Where do I hear him?
He was amazed the other day by what YouTube can do. So Tyler and I have a rule on Oilers Nation every day that if someone mentions trading Jack Campbell or Darnell Nurse, we put them in a timeout for 5 minutes.
Yes, that was very funny when you guys did
And
that.
Gregor was like, you can do that? He's like, this is amazing stuff.
It's our job to show him.
Yes.
Let me ask you, what is your favorite website just on the internet
My favorite website on the internet.
besides Oilers Nation?
I was going to say, wink.
I like Elite Prospects.
But like, if you're opening up a browser, I'm
always on that thing.
You and I are not the same. YouTube is by far my favorite website on the internet.
Yeah, I like YouTube, but I have YouTube on my TV, so it doesn't feel like a website to me anymore. It just feels like Netflix kind
Television.
of thing. Yeah,
I do love having YouTube on my TV. Game changer.
My dad watches 8-hour YouTube video on these two guys canoeing in Manitoba.
An 8 hour.
And he just sat there and just watched it. Yeah.
During the pandemic, I used to always, because I love traveling and you obviously couldn't travel at the time, you're stuck in your house. I would put on walking tours of places I wanted to go.
So good. Immersive street tours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was super cool.
So good, man.
I was like, it's like I'm in Tokyo, but I'm not actually in Tokyo.
Exactly. I watched like 4 or 5 about Berlin. It was kind of like I went somewhere, even though we weren't allowed to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watch guys that make stuff in the jungle.
Although those have been faked. Have you seen the expose? I mean, we knew they didn't make it with their hands. We knew.
Oh no, I'm on a different train now.
Oh, but remember when the guys were like digging holes and making like, we knew that was fake. We knew.
It just seemed to,
but it's been outed as being fake.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was an update.
Yeah, there's an update.
Yeah. I love YouTube.
My favorite website other than Oilers Nation, and legitimately Oilers Nation is my favorite website, is shutting down on June 30th.
Yeah, you texted me this the other day.
Delisted.com, which is one of the great celebrity blogs out there. Apropos of nothing, is like, we're shutting down in 1 week after 20 years of being in operation. P.S. Wanye specifically in Canada, F you. And I was like, well, that's personal.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I've been trying to get into the pop game recently. Trying to understand it a little bit more.
I can talk to you.
Pop game.
Like what do you call it? The
Pop
celebrity,
culture.
the pop culture. Yeah.
I'm
I was
huge
going to
in
say
this.
that's why you were on the Black Eyed Peas YouTube page.
Let's talk. Like the current celebrity news du jour.
I just follow, I think I said it on the show actually. Pop Base is something I follow on Twitter.
Yeah, Demois. Do you follow them on Insta?
Demois hilarious.
That's the one you want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow that
It's
one.
basically the Yeg wave of celebrity gossip. So people be like, I saw Leo out on Beverly Hills Boulevard and he didn't have an eye. And people be like, no way. That's that whole account. Demois.
Send me a link to that one. I'll subscribe.
Yeah.
But
At first, I thought the website you were going to lose is the other celebrity one.
CrazyDaysAndNights.net. But he just got sued.
Did he?
He got sued by saying that a Real Housewife of Atlanta or Orange County was involved with Mr. Epstein. And this lady, because he's an entertainment lawyer, sued him. And so then he put a statement out saying, I was lying, but they're still going after him for tons of money. He might get shut down too. CrazyDaysAndNights.net. That is a great site. It is never wrong, except this one instance about the Real Housewife of Atlanta. She was not part of the island. Wow. It made for good clickbait.
Yeah, I got some views that day.
What are you gonna
That's
do?
how you got to do it on Facebook now.
That summer, we got our Oilers Nation Insta deleted, our Oilers Nation Twitter deleted for a different thing, and Meow Post all in the summer. Remember that?
Yeah, it was not a great summer.
Wasn't a good summer.
The summer of
Death. The summer of death.
In January of 2020 as well, I remember I was in Mexico at a friend's wedding and I'm sitting there on the beach with a cocktail, as I do.
You love it.
My phone buzzed and it goes, just so you know, the Oilers Nation Instagram account has been taken away.
Yeah.
I'm like,
put it back in the sand.
Well, that's good. That is what I've worked hardest on in my entire life, including my relationship with my son. And it has been deleted.
Yep.
So that's good news. We don't need that. We had like $250,000 a year in ad campaigns booked on Insta. I love calling up advertisers and saying, remember how we did that deal? Well, for reasons we don't know, we've been deleted.
Yeah, it's about 1260 found that one out too.
Well, they just had a nice night for them at the Riverhawks. And I thought the video,
look good.
you know what, Riverhawks? Good on you.
The Riverhawks do a fantastic job.
I'm
They're
going
the
tomorrow.
only-
First time. First time this year.
Yeah.
For Taylor Swift night?
Fucking right.
See you there.
Absolutely.
They just get it.
They treated 1260 staff better than the radio station did.
Yeah, I think everyone was there besides maybe Low Tide.
And old JG, because he's down in Nashville wearing 8 vests and 10 ties simultaneously.
Did you see his tweet this morning before the Yamamoto trade?
Oh.
He's like, hold on to your ass. And that's all he
He can
said.
talk like this.
That's all he said. Hold on to your ass.
It's something like
Every
that.
now and then, Gregor's got a banger that comes out like that, where he just went that one time. He just went bullshit.
I asked him when we were talking about coming to do a pod with us. I'm like, do you have a like Jason Gregor after dark version of yourself, where if you do the CRTC up your wazoo, is there anything you'd want to say? He's like, no. I think his show's going to be exactly the same, just on pod.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
He deleted that tweet.
Hold on to your ass.
Hold on to your ass. I want to hold on.
It was so
That might have been
funny.
that might have been a sext.
Maybe.
That might have been a sext.
Whoopsies.
Oh, it cracked me up. I was like, what does this mean? And then I saw you on there as well being like, I think Yamamoto's going to get traded. And I thought, do these connect anyway?
I remember when we pitched our dear friend Brian Southerby so long ago on the concept of the Nation Network, and Oilers Nation was like 2 years old and he was playing for the Ducks. It's great without Jay here. I can just say everybody's names and shit. And I'm like, hey, do you want to see our Oilers website that we're doing that's so good? And he's an active Duck at the time. And he's like, Oilers website? Like, unless you're going to show me a Ducks website, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, I don't care what you think. I go to show him the site. I'd forgotten to renew the SSL certificate and it was down. Good demo, Wanye. Right? This is why I don't think I care too much about the C18 BS, is that I understand that like these things are constantly shifting. Generally speaking, cooler heads prevail. The government is scared of technology, not the masters of it.
Yeah.
Google wins, government loses.
For me, it's just kind of like, this is just the next hurdle or speed bump. There's more coming eventually down the line.
Yes,
Like
we'll be demonetized and our YouTube channel will be taken away because it turns out that Liam's a serial killer or whatever we find out.
Most importantly, just bookmark oilersnation.com. Go to it directly.
I was watching a rap
Easy peasy.
podcast that was saying John Morant should not be suspended. And the guy actually made very valid points.
He didn't break any laws.
He didn't shoot
Not do
anybody.
he did a lot of things wrong, but legally he did nothing
He did
wrong.
nothing wrong legally.
That's what this
no
guy's
laws.
saying. He's like, I think it's bullshit that kids, that John Morant is getting suspended for all these games for the second time because it wasn't a crime.
He didn't do anything legally wrong. Morally, yes. It was not good to
But
see.
like,
that
is
for
that the
kids.
most amoral thing that a player has done this
for
off
sure.
season?
If
Yeah.
I had a
Well-
handgun right now, when I'm in my Uber tonight to
Yeah.
Blink 182,
Yes.
I am live on Insta, blasting pops out
Yes.
the window
Desk
on the way.
pops. Desk pops. Everyone needs a good desk pop every now and then.
Yes.
The how about the Bridges guy? Miles Bridges.
What'd he do?
He like beat up his girlfriend.
Never.
And then this was last season. I think he might have gone to jail or like something. He was suspended by the league. And now he's back in the league and got his qualifying offer. And now he's going to be like 15 million next year.
50 million.
15. And he's just like, man, like John Morant's getting suspended.
Nah, man.
for
Spousal
waving a
abuse,
gun. It's
domestic
just like,
abuse.
that's crazy.
You should be kicked out like that.
Yeah, for sure.
No tall. But that's the thing. John Morant didn't.
And now
Nobody's injured.
Yeah.
Nobody's nothing.
He's dancing with a gun on Instagram.
It's a cool look. It's a cool look. If
And
you
it's
walked
fun.
in here with a handgun doing this, like the Beyonce single ladies, but you got a gat, I'm like, you know what? Liam's a thug.
Yep.
I kind of I like how he's moving. That's what I would say to myself.
the so that lady died today. Sue
Johanson.
Johanson.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked the kids out there today, Wanye, and nobody knew who Sue Jo was.
So
I have dark tales
I've seen
about
her.
Sue
I've seen
Johanson.
her speak
Oy,
3
oy,
times.
oy.
She used to go to Nate all the time, and I would go see her
Oh, really?
every time. She was super entertaining.
So she would teach people about sex education.
Yeah, it was sex
All right,
education,
Liam.
but like very plainly spoken.
We can
sex
have this
education.
conversation because I don't believe anything's plugged into anything and we're telling truths today. Back in the day, Liam, you would turn on the radio show and this old broad would be talking serious sex words. And I can remember having a room in the basement of my parents' house and listening to it at 1 decibel on a clock radio being like, oh, what is this lady talking about? But she was a doctor, so it was okay.
I used to watch it every Sunday on TLC or whatever.
The look, I couldn't handle her talking sexy and looking like she did. It was like a crypt keeper.
But so when I went and saw her at Nate, she would just like do the thing where you could ask anonymous questions.
Oh yeah.
No matter how outrageous they were, she would answer them very matter of factly.
Yeah.
And I loved her. She was the best.
I have 3 male sexual organs. Is that normal? And she's like, no, you should only have 1. And then you're like, I'm going to go see a doctor.
But it's like, she wouldn't make you feel an idiot about anything you asked. It was great.
And she would sometimes be like, oh, honey, you just need to jump into the sack and get it on. And you're like, oh my God, because you're 10 or whatever.
There's a famous clip of her on Conan with like a rubber, a rubber dick, sorry, kids, strapped to her face.
She did on the air on Conan?
Yeah. Yeah, you could find the GIF all the time. I used to use it all the time. And it's just like,
oh no.
Well,
she was old. How old is she?
93.
You know what? That lady did a lot of good in her time on Earth. Great. She powered down a lot of people who were really amped up about sex stuff.
Taught us a lot.
Jason Greger tweeted her show was legendary and then spell out legend. And Tyler Mulick replied, I hope to hear you recreate one of her segments today on Oilers Nation every day.
I'd like to see that.
So we'll see what Gregor has in store for us.
Gregor, the intern with the Sujo tribute.
We would gather at school and be like, did you hear what Dr. Sue said on Friday? But then none of us had the nerve to repeat it, but we would all just nod solemnly. Like,
it was like a whole thing for a long, long time.
I was so conflicted because this old lady was saying such sexy stuff. When she really wasn't talking about chlamydia and other STIs. Let me tell you, they were rampant then and now, my friend.
It was just very matter of fact. And the way she spoke was very plain English, so anyone could understand it.
Unbelievable. And she never made you feel like a weirdo. That's what I always thought was cool. Was that everybody that called in was all nervous, and she was always like, you know what? Here's the thing. You shouldn't have 3 wieners.
Yep.
Do you live near Chernobyl, or do you eat your breakfast on the microwave every morning? You are radiating yourself.
Yep.
There you go.
Is there another reason you want to bring up Sujo?
That was it.
You got some sex problems you want us to talk about with you?
And then Gregor said, I will pay homage to her today. So there you go. Tune in at 3:00.
Well,
she's kind of like the Judge Judy of the sex world.
Kind of. Yeah, sure.
But she was never judgmental.
No. You
ever see her husband? Look him up.
All right.
Mr. Dr. Sue Johanson. He must have been an interesting chap to have that across the bed every night.
Enor.
Isn't he cute?
A Swedish-Canadian electrician named Enor Johansson.
Was Dr. Sue Canadian?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And she was on Conan?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, south of the border, got the same weird sex stuff we do, Liam.
She graduated, went to school in Winnipeg, it looks like.
What's her doctorate in? Bonerology? The kids.
She's got a couple of acting credits on Degrassi, of course.
Oh, I remember that.
With Drake?
Oh, yeah. No, earlier.
No, earlier. The OG Degrassi.
Yeah. She came on and talked about, believe it or not, UTI infection.
Wow, never would have thought.
She said, Joey Jeremiah, you're having too much sex. And that's from me, Dr. Sue Johanson. Stop being so good looking. Pat Masternaughty, you're a gift to women.
I don't know what her doctorate is in.
If they don't tell you, it's kind of like Peter Chiarelli tricking us into being a Harvard man. Yes, you went to Harvard, Peter, for your undergraduate degree. And then you went to U of Carleton, I think, in Ottawa for your law degree,
Did he really?
Which is not the way you're supposed to go.
Is that what happened?
Yes, either U of Ottawa or Carleton U.
Oh, man.
That's why we used to have this, Liam. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it.
That was the Yale fight song. If you play that to a Harvard man, he'll fight you in the street. So because we hated Peter Chiarelli, we would play the Yale fight song.
That makes sense.
Then we were all kicked off Facebook because of the cats.
Yep.
He was on the stage this weekend. This week. I feel like the draft is usually on a weekend. It feels weird.
It's normally on a Friday.
Yeah, it feels weird that it was a Wednesday, Thursday.
What was weird to me is last night I'm doing my thing for the draft and I was not 12 out of 10 shit-faced by the time the first round ended. That's very new in Oilers Nation world, Liam.
Not getting drunk for the draft?
There was a time.
The drunkest night of the year was the draft.
Well, because we had so much to celebrate.
That was
we just had a party.
That was our Stanley Cup, and we used to throw draft parties.
It was our Stanley Cup
year. Like, I think that the Connor McDavid draft is probably one of the top 10 drunkest I've ever been.
Yes. My sister was 9 months pregnant, came in, stood in the room till Connor got drafted, then left the pint because she wanted turned out to be her son to be present at the pint when Connor got drafted. That's how big it was.
Connor got drafted first overall, and Wanye popped on an Oilers jersey with Connor McDavid's name on it with the C already on it.
Really?
Baggedmilk got it for me.
I had to fucking, I was arguing with people. First of all, they wouldn't make me a McDavid
It was the best.
jersey.
They won't make you a McDavid one?
No,
They wouldn't make
they
me
weren't
a
allowed
McDavid
by the
Oilers jersey.
NHL.
Because wasn't it like they had to play for the team before you get one? Or
Yeah,
sign
that was
or
something like that. So then when I said I also wanted a C on it, they're like, you're out of your mind.
I was like, Baggedmilk, can you give me a McDavid jersey? He's like, no, man, I can't. There's like all these rules. I'm like, but I want to wear one to the draft party. And he's like, fine, I'll try. And I stopped. I'm like, press your luck, Wanye. Just go for the gold.
Yep.
I needed to have a C on it too.
I got the job done.
When I remember there was an audible gasp when I put it on in the room as though I myself had been drafted by the Oilers.
Yeah.
My other draft memory is when they did the trade for Griffin Reinhart. And Jay and I had just smashed back shooters, not blue moths, thankfully. And I'm like, hey, do you think that that's a good trade for Griffin Reinhart? He's a bit okay. And Jay was like, that is one of the worst trades you will ever see happen in your life. And I was like, why can't you just enjoy yourself? We're trying to have a draft party.
If I remember correctly, we hung our bill from that night on the wall at HQ for a while.
Yeah, I have it in my garage.
Okay, so
It's like $2,700 in the pint, and there isn't a bite of food. Not a bite. That's when we were drinking Rattler bombs like they were tap water.
the my first draft memory was the 2007 draft, and I'd only lived in Canada for like 2 months. And in Europe, you don't have a draft.
Yeah, it's all transfer fees and fucked up stuff.
Academies, and you recruit your players, kind of like junior hockey in a way, I guess. Me and my dad just were watching it, like, so they just tell these players where they have to go. Like they have no choice in all of this. It's just like you just call these random kids up from the crowd and give them a jersey, and they have to be happy with it. And we were like, we came to the moral that, yep, that is exactly what happens.
More or less. Like you don't really, it's very rare that a kid goes, I'm not going there.
Very rare, especially like
Eric Lindros.
not the high end kids, like the low end guys, like college guys.
Do you know the story of Eric Lindros?
He refused to put on the jersey, right?
He didn't play. He got picked by Quebec first overall.
Yeah, I knew
said,
that.
I'm not going to report. Nordique said, you will. We means we.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't report.
So what did they trade?
They traded him to Philly
Hang on, I got it for you.
for like 57 players. And then, Colorado. They became Colorado.
At that time, Quebec.
Yeah.
To Philly. So Eric Lindros on June 30th, 1992, tomorrow's the anniversary of it, traded from Quebec Nordiques to Philadelphia
Let me try.
Flyers for
Michael Remberg?
no.
John LeClaire?
No.
Forsberg?
Over 2. Go on.
Steve Duchesne, Peter Forsberg, Ron Hextall, Kerry Huffman, Mike Ricci, Chris Simon, future considerations, a first round pick in 1993, a first round pick in 1994, and cash.
And then they became the Nordiques, became the Avalanche, and won the cup the next year.
That is wild.
Think of that summer. You lose your team.
Yeah.
Eric Lindros punches you in the face. You become the Avalanche. You get all these awesome players. Game over.
That is I knew
How
that.
about
I
that's
knew
a
that happened,
monster
but
trade.
it's crazy. That is.
That's back in the day when they didn't have trade deadline shows. They'd be knocking these things off. You read about it a month later in the hockey news. Be like, what?
Turn on the game and Lindros on a different team.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You don't know what he looks like because
crazy.
the draft's not televised.
It is a weird thing, just since you mentioned that, it is weird to think about. There was a time when I'd be like, Mike York traded to the Oilers, but in a paper.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of happened to me a little bit today when the Kostin thing went down and I was driving and I just turned on the radio instinctively and there was just nothing there.
Man,
I was like,
not
that
having 1260 sucks, man.
Yeah, it really sucks.
It really sucks. Like the amount of times just out of habit, just throw it on to hear what JG's talking about.
Just like the live reaction is what I miss.
Yeah, live reaction.
The live reaction is the key for it.
It really bugged me watching all the 1260 folks at the Riverhawks game. Like all those people I feel like are my friends from listening to their shows.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
you feel like you know them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met any of them. I know Connor Halley. That's about it.
Oilers Nation After Dark.
Yeah. And I met Matt Iwanek when he came and did that show the other day.
Mhm.
That's it.
Well, once I went on and I had to pay. I went on as the Edmonton Coffee Club guy and paid money. And I was like, ooh, this is the radio. And then I told him, I'm like, I don't even need to go on your crappy show. Our ratings are higher than the radio station, except it turned off. So we win.
One time I went on Jason Greger's show to plug the Oilers Nation Open, which, by the way, we're launching next week.
Mill Woods, I love that golf course.
The only reason I went on his show was to plug his charity. Because all proceeds or the net proceeds go to the Jason Greger Foundation.
I was so insulted.
I did my career investigation with Gregor.
Did you?
Yeah. Went into an office with him at 1260 and I just asked him all these questions and then I think I just left. I was very nervous.
Point number 1. Call people buddy.
Yeah.
Buddy.
But he was great. At least he did it.
Show Wanye no respect. Write that down as the second key to being a dominant sports media personality.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
Anyway, way she goes.
First time I met Jason Greger, we went to Century Grill, which was the fanciest place I could think of. Mm-hmm. And he had so many earrings.
He really did. His old press photo.
He must have had 6 earrings if he had 2.
Gaggle of earrings even.
And I was like, what? And then he got his photo in the station at the radio at the old arena. He had his radio show photo in the station when we had the Oilers Nation station. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, he got all the earrings on that photo too. Hey, Gregor, you didn't airbrush any of them out, eh? I'd always take pictures with it and send him photos. I don't know why he doesn't like me. I've always been so supportive. I was supportive of all those earrings.
Yeah, he had a lot of them. There was a lot to choose from.
Keep them all, I said. Mm-hmm. And then he got a rocket wife, and I was like, even with the earrings? And I said it to her. I said, even with the earrings? You want to get with this? And she said, well, when you're as hot as I am, everyone's a 2. I said, that's true. And then slowly over time, I think he's down to a manageable 8 earrings now. I think he has 1 left.
Yeah, it's,
He's just holding on.
It's reverse inflation.
Yeah, you just hold on to that earring.
Yeah. I like to take trips to random places and get earrings as I go.
Yeah.
It's a little memento. Thankfully, AMA Travel, they'll help you get there.
Yeah.
Save on travel insurance, cruises, vacation packages, guided vacation and coach tours, hotels, car rentals, attractions, and tickets. Come on.
If you think you need a car to enjoy AMA, you are wrong.
Nope.
They can travel you.
Yep.
Yep.
I've got a couple of flights later in the summer that AMA Travel hooked me up with.
They offer funeral services. They'll shovel you right in the ground at AMA.
Yeah.
Right down the zip line.
Yep. You say, how fun do you want your funeral to be? 1 to 8. Mm-hmm. And AMA will give you a zip line right into the ground.
Wow.
Nobody does that.
No, that is.
Find me an auto club that will do that. I dare you.
It's interesting. I forget that they're an auto club sometimes. I use them exclusively for travel.
Yeah. You got a big trip coming up this summer?
Yeah, not really. Just a couple of trips, going to Kelowna, going to Vancouver.
I've never been to Kelowna.
It's lovely.
I would love to. I went to Vernon once. That was lovely.
Love the Okanagan.
Yeah. The Rise golf course. You ever golf there? No? It's a sick one.
I go to Millwoods.
Yeah, I only go to Millwoods. This Thai airport situation that's on the front page of TMZ
it's
right now.
It's not good. That lady.
Oh.
Pop culture, Liam. This is up your alley.
Yeah.
Woman loses leg after getting trapped in moving walkway.
It is so gross.
Oh, nice.
They have teeth on the end of them because they're sharp to prevent shit from going down into the machinery.
Like legs.
Like straws, whatever could get in there and make everything go to shit. So it's basically like a garburator on the end of it.
Oh, that's
so she caught her pant leg.
TMZ is one of the... You're out of pocket on this one, TMZ. They start off the news story for this poor woman in Thailand by saying losing your luggage at an airport is pretty bad, but losing your leg is much worse.
Oh,
yep.
I would say almost 10 times out of 10, that is correct.
Good Lord.
Oh, dear.
Some Final Destination shit.
I went to school with a kid in grade 1 and she got her hand caught in the escalator.
Oh, my Lord.
And I'll never forget, the poor thing had like bandages on it for years, like forever. She had to get graft surgery, all sorts of shit. This is much worse.
Yeah.
This is much worse. I don't think that lady's ever going to wear pants the same.
According to AP, she is trying to get the leg reattached at a Bangkok hospital.
I think it looks like paper through a shredder. You have to stitch all them ribbons back together and then shovel it into a shoe. No, it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's doable.
Get yourself an Oscar Pretorius.
Oh, the springy leg.
That's a great leg. Back in the day, legs were terrible prosthetics. Now,
he was revolutionary.
You could jump 10 feet in the air.
Made the Olympics.
Yeah.
How did it all end? I haven't looked. Haven't looked into Oscar Pistorius. How's it all going? Is he enjoying retirement?
As far as I know, you went to the Olympics and then nothing else of consequence happened from there.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him for years.
For years.
Locked away almost.
Well, I'm sure it's all going fine. We just aren't privy to the information because of C18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my South African news is not coming through on my feed
Thanks,
anymore.
C18.
Yeah, I've probably got something to do with it. You said the Anaheim Ducks before.
Yes.
Did you see that they have a documentary on Disney called The Duckumentary?
Oh, dear.
And it's just about how they became the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh, that's cool. Like from back in the day?
I believe so.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I like their new jersey that they're doing, the 30th
That does look
anniversary
very
jersey.
cool.
Yeah,
They
it's
should
cool.
just go back to that.
Who's that long-haired guy on the Ducks? The blonde guy?
Trevor Zegras?
I don't like him.
Brown-haired guy.
Is it Brown?
Yeah.
It's always wavy, though. He's always like, hey, bro. That
Yeah,
guy?
he's got certain
Yeah.
vibes.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it one bit. I like my players angry, and I like their haircut short.
Mm-hmm.
And this,
Like Draisaitl.
yeah. Yes. That's the kind of
exactly
player.
right.
No personality, indignant most of the time.
Yeah,
That's how I like to keep him.
Yep. Very handsome too.
Yes.
He has gotten much better looking since his draft year.
It is.
Yeah.
He's very handsome.
He looks good with a beard.
Oh,
He does. Well,
it's just like
Once
Stu
you
with
get
the
that
mustache.
facial.
Once you find your look, you know,
got like
settles
me with
into
the
it.
mustache.
I've seen it's manicured. It's great.
I just gotta get a haircut now. And then
What's the
get
plan
to
for it?
I don't know. Let it grow, I guess.
You taking that baby to Europe with you?
I think so.
You're gonna come home with a mustache.
I'll leave with one, come home.
Do we
with
think
one.
we're
Did
gonna
you
get
leave with one?
twisties on it?
Leave where? I'll
The
leave
old
here
country.
with one.
Oh,
I'll come
I
back
see.
with one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You think you're gonna get to a point where we're twisting?
I kind of hope not. I don't know if I'm into that kind of stuff.
Mm.
It's a bit kinky.
I'm just jealous. I can't grow a mustache at all.
Yeah. This is
I need to get a derma roller.
this is
Start rubbing
something
my
now.
lip.
The curling on the edge is nice, though. You could do a cheese twisty on the end.
Probably could.
I wonder if you go Sam Cosentino. What was that guy's name?
Sam
Cosentino,
Constantino.
where he's full handlebar. You could grow a handlebar based on what I see here.
That's cool.
Probably good. I just got two little baby patches here. Just
Avoid
as
straight-
smooth as a
straight
baby's
north,
bottom.
south.
Yeah, straight north south on the sides there. Or you could do something that not many people are doing, where you have the mustache ties around into a chin strap up to the
Oh.
sideburns.
The razzle dazzle like Riff Raff has.
I'm just saying,
That could be good, actually. There's lots to consider.
you roll into Crusaders camp with that.
Players
that
will
commands respect.
me.
Don't think I haven't noticed your flip flops, by the way.
My slides.
Those are gangster.
Yeah, the guy at the Crusaders, the trainer, has his own apparel company. So yeah, he got me. I opened his door at the rink and knew, I kid you not, like 50 pairs of slides. I was like,
Sick.
can I have a pair? He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I got a nice little pair of
You
crew
got the
slides.
Crusader slides and hat on. Come on.
Yeah, crew player drafted today.
Yeah?
Ty Mueller, 105th overall to the Vancouver Canucks.
Attaboy.
That's
What-
cool.
What position?
He played centerman when he was here. Then he went to the University of Nebraska Omaha. Now I think he's a winger.
What's his career outlook? Head scout?
I think he's good. I think he'll be very good. Like probably depth scorer, but I think he could play in the NHL. I mean, got looked over in the draft and then was able to get drafted. I think those guys are always sneaky because got to have some determination
Yeah,
to continue to go and push for that goal. And he's a sick player. So shout out to them. He's
Good
from,
on him.
He's from Cochrane.
Hey,
That's neat.
Yeah.
Feel proud
local
today.
boy.
Yeah. It's always good. Like he was there when I was in the media stuff and he was always very helpful
Strengthens the
with it all.
program, though. Guys get drafted.
100%. So this is now, we had Mueller this year. A couple of years ago, we had Savoy and Benin, who are both now signed. And then we have another one called Carter Gylander, who is in the Detroit system as a goaltender.
Another
neat.
one, hey?
Yeah,
That's a
so-
human being. Liam.
He just won like
Another
goalie of
one.
the year or something at Colgate in that division, whatever it's called. So
Goalie of the year.
yeah.
The toothpaste division.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there was 5 players from the AJHL drafted today. 4 from
Really?
four from Brooks. So
Brooks, the best team.
yeah.
No, they're the worst team, Baggedmilk. That's why you're not the
cares?
head scout.
Why? That's why I
You
don't
got your
hear.
standing.
I can only run one Instagram. I can't do 3 Instagrams.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm on 3 Instagrams now.
Mhm.
If only that were a lot. Hey, Baggedmilk.
Yeah.
If only that impressed me.
Mhm.
That's true. I shouldn't be bragging to you.
70 accounts. Most of them fakos of people that don't exist. How are the crew looking next year?
We'll
Looking
be
good? Are we?
We'll be good. We'll push probably for the North final, and then try and get to the final. We've never been to a final before.
Ever.
So, never. So I think we're the oldest team to not make the final. So it'd be nice to crack that egg.
That'd be huge.
But it's tough sometimes because you get these like Spruce Grove and Brooks who've done so well for so long, have established programs. It's like, you've got to try and build up to that level and you have to beat those guys to then get the better players. So we still have a ton of good players.
Getting guys in the show, though, strengthens the program.
Yeah, it helps. We had more players drafted than Spruce Grove did this year. So
you can go convince cheeky 13-year-olds Baggedmilk that they have a 100% chance of making the show if you play for the crew.
Yeah, but people like playing in Sherwood Park because it's a great location for players. You can either play there or Olds. Shout out.
How come Edmonton doesn't have an AJ team?
They did. They used to be called the Edmonton Crusaders. They were Sherwood Park. They got moved.
Where would they play out of?
I don't know where they played at. Oh, they played out of in Clairview somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was like back in the 60s.
Oh,
yeah, 70s, whatever it was. So
that's called. What was the rink called before the Edmonton Gardens? The Thistle Rink. Mm-hmm. That was the pro hockey rink in 1910. Thistle Rink.
Yeah, they didn't play there, but yeah, now it's all the AJHL this year is all one league. So you don't have a North and South division. You play each team 4 times, home and away twice. So some teams like it, some teams hate it because a team like Canmore is kind of like in a very good location for Calgary area because it's like an hour away.
Haul ass everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere else is an absolute trek.
Well, maybe play for the crew and don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
That's what I would say to all the little kids. And then they would say, Wanye, you're not allowed to talk to the players anymore. You're very, very judgmental.
I wonder if it's going to get to a point where you're at crew camp or whatever and you go, hey, are you Liam from Oilers Nation?
Maybe.
You're bigger than the game. You're bigger than the team.
I kind of hope not. I hope it. How
is it not going to happen?
I know. Maybe, but it hasn't happened yet. I've only had 2 interactions in public with people. One of them was in the movie theater. And the other one was...
I don't know how that happens because I got recognized at an Elks game last weekend and I'm nowhere.
Yeah.
That mustache? Come on.
Well, that's what I have is my disguise.
You can shave it off whenever you want.
Liam Incognito.
No. Yeah. There you go.
What's wrong with people thinking you're from Oilers Nation? You don't like it here?
No, I like it. I just like to live 2 separate lives.
Yes.
Am I what?
Like the Unabomber.
Yes.
He is also suppressing his Oilers Nation content.
He did, Playboy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bill C-18.
Yeah. Unabomber did.
I go to the rink. I sit as far away from everyone as I can.
Like a real scout.
Yeah. I talk to my other scout friends.
In scout code?
In scout code.
Is that guy a looker?
One time?
Pardon?
Can I look at your notes one time?
Sure.
Okay.
They're super small, so no one can read them because you're convinced Brooks is looking over your shoulder.
Yeah. It is funny when you like talk to these scouts and you're in the parent, like sometimes you have to sit within everybody and you're like, so what do you think of that guy? And he's like, which one? I'm like, that one. And he's like, oh, that one. So you can't say anyone's name, right? Just in case.
That's how scouts talk?
Yeah, kind of like that. That's how I talk cool. Anyway. I'll just like point at a piece of paper. I'm like, what do you think of him?
Are the parents just the worst?
A lot of parents I talk to are fine, but sometimes you sit there and you're like, oh boy, like that is a lot of sound coming from that area of the rink. It's just unnecessary. Like cheer everyone on. And like sometimes I think instinctively people just like kind of give it to the ref or whatever. It's just kind of is what it is.
But like players, parents being crazy about like managing their careers and like showbiz parents type shit.
We just kind of avoid those guys.
You don't draft them?
We just try not like if
you deep dive enough to know what the parents are like?
Yeah, you know what the parents are like. Ooh, but you just kind of
sassy.
If the play is good and all that kind of stuff, then you can kind of avoid it sometimes. But if there's a guy who's good and his parents aren't a hassle, but there's another guy who's good, but his parents are a hassle, probably taking the guy.
I heard Taylor Hall's dad tried to put a radio receiver in his helmet so he could talk to him on the ice. And I'm not even kidding.
That's wild.
Really? Yep.
That is a crazy.
In unrelated news, Taylor's on his 9th team despite winning a Hart Trophy.
Yeah.
That's strange.
It is wild. 6 teams already.
Yeah, he's just that guy now, isn't he, on the carousel?
Kind of.
He's good. I would love
Can you think of somebody else who's won a Hart who's had this little traction with teams? PK? You won a Norris.
You won the Norris.
But he was only on 2 teams.
Oh, yeah, true.
Montreal, Nashville, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, it was on New Jersey. 3 teams.
Calgary?
Calgary, yeah.
No, he didn't. That was a trick. You're fired as head scout.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know anyone else because obviously it's just like McDavid and Draisaitl. They're both here, hopefully forever.
Well, who else has won the Hart?
Matthews. How about that guy who voted? Did you see the ballot where the guy didn't vote for McDavid to be first?
Yeah. That's just for
But the year before he didn't vote Matthews in his top 5 and he won.
same
MVP.
guy.
Yeah.
They got to take away this guy's. Did Quads really vote?
Yeah, of course. Quads votes. Ryan Pike votes.
Really?
Yeah.
Gregor.
I was badgering them weeks leading up to the draft. Vote for Connor. Vote for Connor.
Imagine
Vote for
it
Connor.
came out and he was like, David Quadrelli is the man who voted for McDavid 5th.
So the first thing that happened, like that I said when I saw that there was a 5th place vote, is I text Quads. I was like, "This was you, wasn't it?" I like to accuse him of things that may or may not be real.
But probably are.
Probably are.
Mm.
Quads got saved by that guy in Pittsburgh this time.
You had a good tweet that did numbers about this.
I did.
Yeah, wasn't it about Connor Bedard not going first? Some got him 6th on his list or something.
Oh yeah, Connor Bedard got drafted 1st overall, but that dude from Pittsburgh had him going 5.
That's funny.
Every now and then, Liam, I got a joke.
1 in 5.
1 in 5 of my jokes may get.
That's a high land rate where I'm from.
I had one today, which I thought was funny for myself. I haven't seen how it worked, but there's that running joke how the Oilers don't have a scout in Ontario.
Yeah.
And then the Oilers took 2 players from Ontario today just to stick it to us all on the joke. Like, could you
They're
know
just
these
reading
guys
the
are?
daily face-off guide too, eh? Like whole scouting department's just like,
Fuck, this guy looks pretty good.
I don't know. What do you think about that guy? What do you think about that guy? What do you think about that
Names
guy?
out
Do you
behind.
have any thoughts on Bo Achy Breaky Heart?
Bo Achy Breaky Heart? Yes, I have a little bit of thoughts.
Who
I
is
watched
this?
him. He's the
He's
guy
our
they
new
took
friend.
second.
What's his real name? Not this fancy talk.
Bo Achy.
Bo Achy.
Yeah.
I think so.
Good
yeah.
nicknaming. Continue.
Yes.
You've done great work.
He's very exciting. I think he'll be a fun player when he gets here. He's very confident on the puck, very comfortable. He's like not afraid to make a play, which is good.
Is he going to play?
Yeah, I think he'll play. He skates very
D
well.
forward. What is he?
He's a right shot defenseman,
Big dog.
6 foot. He's kind of lean, but he skates better than probably like Bouchard would. And like as an offensive guard in the Oilers, like he would be different from what they have, I guess you could say.
Now, defensemen age slowly. So are we going to see him in 7 years at the ripe old age of 25 after a lengthy AHL? I need my expectations
I bet
managed.
he'll probably play next season for the Barrie Colts. And then I would assume probably sign the year after, because he was already like almost a point per game defenseman this year. Probably might even go to the World Juniors, to be honest, just off the top of my head. So 1 more year of junior, go pro, and then the 3rd year, I'd imagine we would see him kind of maybe come up and down a little bit, and then in the year after is when we probably get the full
4
effect
years
of him.
out.
Probably. But he's good. He is good. And the Oilers need right shot defenseman because they had Philip Kempe, whatever his name is. So
I just saw they just gave him a QO.
they signed him 2-year deal. They needed to because there was literally nobody else. So
That's when you're dealing from a position of strength.
yes.
That's exactly what you want.
Yep.
We've got no one else other than you.
You know what? I'm going to sign here.
Mhm.
That's what he said.
I don't mind it.
There
I don't
you
mind
go.
it at all.
But the other guy, the goalie, I don't know a lot about, but he had a save percentage lower than Jack Campbell this
Not
season.
bad.
So that should be promising.
Why? We signed Jack Campbell for a long-term contract. Everything must be going great.
Yeah. But a lot of people on Twitter were saying this guy is like, he's better than what his numbers actually showed. His team was just kind of shit. So that's hopefully true. And then the other guy was Matt Capone, who is a 7th round pick from Merrimack College. He was 20 years old already. And a lot of guys liked him too. So it's hard to judge. You don't really want to judge him, right? Like they're just 18-year-old guys at the end of the day. You
are literally a head scout.
I know, but I judge
You
them-
are paid to judge young
them
men.
privately.
You don't share your findings?
Share them with the people who need to see them.
Yeah, exactly. You're a paid judge.
Yes.
What would be the nightmare scenario for you in the scouting world? Like your book of notes calling fucking, so-and-so a shithead that falls out and parents read
Some parent A picks it up and has a big Crusaders logo on the front. Yeah, that would probably be a nightmare. I haven't ran into that scenario. Yeah, I have keep that thing basically locked to my hand.
Really?
Yeah, you can't drop your notes. Like exactly. What if it falls into the wrong hands? Like I could care less what other teams really think. If you're that bad of a scout that you can't have your own notes and you need to read mine, then you got to probably evaluate yourself. or
First
hire
page,
me,
it
but-
just says Gretzky equals good question mark.
Yeah.
Liam.
That's my scale. Gretzky, everybody else.
Next Gretzky question mark?
just like-
no.
This scout's got all kinds of cheeseburger notes in this book.
He's manually noted that 21,000 different players aren't the next Gretzky. Super detailed notes.
Travis Scott has been cleared of all possible criminal charges.
Now
For
we're working on
Astroworld?
Yeah.
God bless America.
Now we're working on our pop culture,
That's
Liam.
better,
Yeah.
Liam.
That was from Pop Base. There you go.
Travis Scott entices riots. He tells everybody to rage.
Yeah,
And
to
then
press
people
forward.
died.
And to press forward.
He tells them to press forward.
Yeah, like rush forward or something. I think is one of it. Like I've seen.
Travis Scott's kind of an idiot, man.
Man,
I'll be
I've
honest
been
with
in
you.
some wild mosh pits, and it like normally what happens is they will stop everything and be like, "We've got a problem down there.
Yeah.
Pick them up."
Yeah.
Not Travis Scott.
No, man.
He seems to go the other way.
And then they clear him.
It was wild.
There you go. I have to do Oilers Nation every day in 14
You
minutes.
have to leave a podcast to go on a podcast.
Yeah.
Is that podcast in this room?
It is.
I see. So what you're telling us is this podcast is over.
Unless you have anything else to add after an hour and 31 minutes.
I didn't even have anything to say to start this show.
Yeah, we had nothing to say. Might as well end it then.
Okay, goodbye.
No swears.